What up, guys? This is our next installment of the One Shot. We are, of course, Titans of Industry. I am JJ. I am DMing this One Shot. This is Scott. This is Mitch. We are going to be introduced to the characters. Obviously, if you haven't heard, listen now. Our new single, Dr. Jankenstein's Monster. This is the One Shot advertising and based off of that song. So, here we go. First of all, let's get you guys' characters described. So, who you guys play?
I am Huge Ackman. I am...
No relation.
Yeah, no relation, as it's spelled huge space.
Oh, that's the first name.
Ackman. I am a witch doctor and monster hunter.
Sick.
Warlock human, who first started performing basically miracles and handling issues of the esoteric as a child in my home village.
A prodigy?
Yes, and I've grown, and now I am known locally as basically a monster hunter and a converter of evildoers. I believe there's good in everyone, and if I can pull that good out of you and help you turn back to the light, that is my ultimate goal.
Love that. Absolutely beautiful.
He's like a Mormon.
Yes.
Knocking on doors. Hey.
Huge Ackman the Mormon.
Mitch, who are you playing today?
I'm not sure your shirt. Tommen, the halfling barbarian.
I love how you said I'm not sure at first. I was like, wait, I told you to bring a sheet. I'm not sure you're short.
Yes, definitely sure that I'm not short. You're short. I'm very tall, hence my name, Tommen.
Amazing.
I am a halfling. I am a barbarian. The source of my rage is people being unwilling to accept the fact that I am indeed tall. Both in stature as well as mentally, metaphorically, metaphysically tall.
Nice.
I occupy a lot of space, and if you don't acknowledge it,
Or believe
we
so.
will have a problem.
That's
I will become angry. And let's go fight some monsters.
fucking absolutely legendary. I'm not sure you're short and huge.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys are these brand new monster hunters, obviously for one reason or another, perhaps aspiring to be, or perhaps excited to sort of seek out the validation that I am not short, and I will prove to you that I'm not short. Yeah. You guys are basically responding to your first mission. Monster hunters, sort of in this universe, they respond to villages that are having problems with mythical creatures, things that are unexplained, things that have been not seen before.
So are we like contractors, or do we already know each other? Are we like a team?
Yeah, so let's say you guys train together. So however you guys want to sort of play out the relationship, we'll let that sort of unfold naturally, but you guys definitely have some sort of knowledge of who each other are. Perhaps you were paired for this mission. It was like a pull of the hat sort of thing. And you guys are currently on your way to the town of Lothos. Lothos, you get this mission. It sort of goes over the details. There's this strange abomination of a creature. Just glimpses of it have been seen in the spurs of the shadows. It sort of has these humanoid features, but also fangs and other things resembling a beast. This very strange sort of potential hybrid. People claim that it's some strange giant. Other people claim it's a wolf. There's been different ways it's been viewed, but what's been happening in this village is there have been children that have been being taken by this beast. Yeah. People assuming that they are taking it for food to some sort of location, an extended amount of period where the search parties have not been able to find these kids, and they are now presumed dead. And you guys are currently walking down this road towards the village as there's this lush green forest that sort of slowly starts to fade as you guys come up to this sort of creeping fog that's over the horizon as you're about to crest this hill. You guys slowly saunter down the dirt road.
What's up with this fog?
I don't know, but I bet that wolf is pretty tall. We gotta go show him how tall we are.
Weird. You know, I bet deep inside that grotesque monster's heart is pain and sadness and loving things that we can bring out. Perhaps the monster is useful for some task that is not kidnapping and potentially eating children.
I bet those children are pretty short.
Children tend to be short. This has been a big part of my detective work on this case.
With
all the children taken have been short.
with the
That's why you're huge.
Yes. Indeed.
with the passing words as you guys are meandering towards this fog, you guys slowly make your way down the road, and as you're getting closer, you guys start to take notice to these graves that actually have been laid in place. Sort of simple but very delicately laid out, and there's carvings. There's these carvings laid out as you see these names. One of the graves reads Heath, the other reads Ara, and the other one reads Myrell. And there's the years of living, which is just shy of 7 years. Young children, sort of adding to the clarification, the awareness that this is something very serious. As you pass these graves, how do you guys feel about this? What are you guys thinking as you see these graves approaching this village?
I'm somber and a little distraught because the more devastation I see that this creature has created, the less I am having faith that this is going to be one of those missions where I get some type of happy ending. And I'm thinking more so we might have to actually kill this beast and prove how tall, I'm not sure if your short tall man is.
Wait, so the children are in the graves?
Well, they're like, yeah, they're buried. Essentially like a burial. The graves are representing. Oh, you're asking like, are they physically in there? That's a very good question. Would you like to?
Wait, no, but I mean like, they're not open graves.
No.
Okay.
Yes, they are buried. Yes.
So what we see is gravestones with like dates on it.
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
Yeah, I would like to investigate the graves a little bit.
Sure.
I actually want to know if the children are in the graves or not.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check, please.
Fucking
5 plus.
What's my
Investigation should be on your skills.
Plus 5.
So a solid 10. So as you sort of start to investigate this burial, you're seeing a lot of the detail. Nothing has been spared in terms of preparing this as you inspect it. It looks as real as it could ever look as you sort of trace down the carvings and you make your way to having your palm against the dirt as you sort of close your eyes and you try to sort of tap into your warlock abilities as you try to feel beneath the soil to see if there's any essence of life that's actually beneath it. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check, please.
9 plus 2.
11. So with an 11, you feel the soil, and there's this sort of strange feeling as the Arcana starts to connect. You start to sort of reach down beneath, and you take recognition of some sort of form. With an 11, it's not quite enough to sort of actually understand what's beneath this ground, but you know that there is something there.
Okay, I think that Huge is just going to take that as there being children in these graves, and it's going to reinforce the shit I said earlier, and I'll move on to the graves.
So potentially a moment of solace, a moment of respect that is being paid as the determination returns to your eyes. Is there anything, I'm not sure you're short, or are you just sort of watching, trying to, I can't say it seriously.
It's so great.
Okay.
Yeah, no, not really.
Not really. Okay, so as he just sort of lets you do your thing, you guys continue to make your way on as you start to breach the fog and find this village as you crest over the hill. It's sort of very barren, very I want to say medieval. It's like, like straw
like
cottages. Yes, exactly. Like
outskirts.
Yeah, very run down, nothing fancy at all. You see people in rags, very few populace. It's like very small town, and you see people sort of just sauntering in sadness from afar. No joy or any sort of spark within this town as they just sort of meander back and forth as you guys slowly make your way down the hill. As you make your way into the village, that feeling sort of sinking in even more. It's almost palpable, the amount of sorrow that is coming from these people, like they have no hope of sorts. The second you guys walk in, you begin to look around, and huge, you start to notice like people sort of making quick glances at the pair of you as they're sort of whispering. You sort of see a bit of excitement as they're like, as they like sort of.
Tall man. These people might know who I am. I am famous in some of these less than ideal living circumstances.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What are you famous for?
I have murdered many monsters before I showed up at the academy. When I felt that it was my due diligence to operate on behalf of all the people by doing it in a public office instead of just as a vigilante. But I've been killing monsters for decades.
Oh, I thought it'd be something cool. One day, in these parts, they're gonna know me as being tall.
You know, tall man, I think you're right. I think they will.
Hell yeah.
As you guys sort of have this conversation between yourselves, you sort of start to wrap up with all of this, as all of a sudden this like small little child begins to run up, and you feel this tug at your robes, huge. And you turn around and you see this small kid, and he's like, "Excuse me, are you Huge Ackman?"
And I pull out a piece of paper and a pen, and I turn around and I go, "Yes, I am, child." And I sign my name, and I tear it off, and I hand it to him.
And he just grabs it, and he's like, Are you going to save the village?
Absolutely.
My friends have been taken.
Oh, that's terrible.
I was told they were eaten.
Oh, why would they tell you that?
I have nightmares of their bones crunching.
I mean, I would too. I'm not gonna lie.
It seems
You
like...
want another autograph?
And then he like points over to I'm not short, you're short, and he goes, oh, you have a kid too.
Hey. I'm not a kid.
Oh, you're...
I'm a man.
Dude,
I'm a tall man.
Your booming voice, like, because you actually are a man. He's like, oh, you see this like shock over his face. He's like, oh, he's sort of like, it's very clear to you.
I know.
He's...
It's very shocking how tall I am. But don't be alarmed. One day you'll grow. Not as much as I have, but one day you'll grow.
Huge, you're very aware with your passive investigation, being aware that this kid has just simply never seen a halfling before. This is like shocking to him. This is just like, I can't even believe what I'm seeing. I've never seen someone fully grown my size. And he is sort of unsure how to respond.
I grab him by the collar and I pull him in and I go, "Listen, kid, just tell him he's tall. Okay? Trust me, he's very, very tall. You get what I'm saying?"
Okay, Mr. Ackman.
Okay, cool. And then I let him go.
Very, very tall man.
Thank you. Now tell the tall man, where'd the monster go?
That is a good question. I've been trying to scout. All of a sudden, a hand is placed on the kid's shoulder. And you guys look behind him. As you see the hand, you guys stare up from the hand as you see this sort of like middle-aged, sort of somewhat graying in the beard. You see he has like a gear ear, this very strange, like looks nothing like any of the other villagers. He has these like crystals that are lined within his wrists, and you see that he has like a belt full of these sort of arcanic magical tools. And he just simply looks down and he goes, "Soren, we must not speak of these things with strangers. We must know them first. We must be aware of who we're telling things to. I'm sorry. Children, they have quite an imagination," as he addresses you both.
So before I say anything to him, I have extensive knowledge of arcane stuff.
This is true.
And esoteric stuff. So can I see how much of his gear and how much of the weird, the crystals?
Yeah,
and
these
things
augments.
That like, can I develop a theory about who this guy is and what he does just by looking at him? Because I'm kind of the same.
Sure. Okay, so go ahead and roll me a perception check first.
17.
Nice.
Plus 2, so 19.
Very awesome. So as your eyes start to glance up and you start taking a look at this man, you're sort of clocking all of the augments on his body and trying to make sense of it. You're aware that these are sort of magically modified things. These are things that you have seen before and only possible by a certain kind of person. Someone intelligent enough and that has the skills of an artificer. Now, go ahead and make me an investigation check, please.
19.
19! Okay, so you again start peering closer with a 19 investigation. You're taking notice to the runes in his arm and his strange gear ear as it sort of ticks and ticks as it turns clockwise. And you start to be completely aware of how strong the arcana coming from this person is, like fully confirming that this is someone that is aware of those sort of circumstances. He has to be someone that is familiar with some sort of the occult or arcana to be able to not only have in his body, but be able to like still remain himself with how strong these magical objects are within him.
Okay. You know, I think the child might be telling us the truth, actually. From our intel, there have been children going missing in this village.
Hmm. So you two must be the ones they sent.
Yep.
Okay. Well, allow us to sort of speak in private. As I mentioned with the child, I feel like these matters are best kept under wraps until we have the full extent of what is actually happening.
Hey, who are you? Why are you telling this kid what to do? This doesn't look like your village.
He sort of scoffs as he just looks down at the child, and the child like looks at him and nods and just sort of scampers away. And he just says, "Forgive me. My manners have completely left me. The tenseness of this situation has been a lot for the village. My name is Dante. I am the leader of this village. I wouldn't say it's my village. I don't like to rule that way, so you're right there, but people do look up to me, and I do take care of most of them. So as you can see, it's been pressing on my nerves a lot. Sorry for being so tense."
Are you good? Where's the monster at, bro?
Forgive my very tall compadre. Dante, my name is Huge. Huge Ackman.
It's very nice to meet you. As you
Perhaps you've heard of me. I've been a monster hunter in these parts for quite some time. And you know, I don't want to be too forward, but I'm kind of wondering how I've never heard of you, considering your clear association with my line of work.
Again, a matter to speak in private. If you'd like to come to my hut.
Sure.
Oh, wait. You want us to speak in private? I thought you was trying to go talk to the kid. Yeah, let's go.
He looks towards you, Huge, and he's like, "Is this who they paired you with? This guy?"
You know, maybe we should go talk in private.
Very good. Follow me. You guys start meandering over as you make your way to, again, like a very modest-looking straw hut. Like nothing too extravagant, but definitely more put together, giving the sort of pseudo-vision of authority. You know, the guy in charge has the best place sort of a vibe as he brushes over these leaf curtains, and you guys begin to make your way in. And he goes, "So, obviously, you've been sort of caught up to date. There has been some sort of mythical creature that has been taking these kids, and a lot of them think that they've perished in some sort of way. It has been quite a long time, but I would like to believe that they can be saved. So I'm glad you're here."
Look, we get given missions by our commanders, and then we set out to do the most honorable and thorough job possible. So I assure you we're here on the best of intentions, and we're here to help solve this mystery inside your village.
Hey, what's with the kids in graves?
You see him sort of nodding with approval as he crosses his arms, like he's like very happy with the amount of gumption that you're coming with.
Full anime face.
Yeah. As you finish, and he's like nodding in approval, and you shout,
giant bead of sweat.
and you shout this to him, or say it to him, and he just sort of glances over, and he's like, I suppose it is our weak attempt at some sort of memorial, some sort of way to remember them. As I said, the kids were taken. It's been long enough to where they're presumed dead, but we don't know if they are. I would like to think they're alive, but
Empty graves.
Yeah.
it's the way I can attempt to sort of appease and give some sort of ease to the parents that are dealing with the situation.
Well, hopefully we can help stop all of this and bring those children back home. I believe in my heart that those children are still alive.
I agree.
I'll say to him, you know, now that we're in private, I'd like to ask you very directly, have you not attempted to go after this monster yourself? You're clearly skilled in the arcane.
I clearly dabble. It's very good eyes on you to have noticed. I feel like, as a leader, it's best to sort of have everyone remain calm and try to have the professionals do what they do. Could I have gone after it myself? Potentially, but we need someone handling the situation, and we need someone doing damage control here.
Yeah, I'm super satisfied with that. I love that he wanted me to do it and not him. I'm like, yes, you know, I couldn't agree more. This is best left to the best man for the job.
Well, I'm glad you're here for that. May I ask you both a question? As you can clearly see, Huge, I have all these tinkering abilities. I've been sort of thinking about something. I like to tinker, make experiments, do fun things. I can sort of make these creatures, not creatures, what's the word? Automatons that are very similar to people that have passed. Is this something that might appease the parents if it is the worst? I can sort of create these things that are like their kids, but they're not their kids.
Wait, so you're giving people...
Is he already doing this?
Yeah, he's saying he has the ability to. He's curious of your guys' opinion. If you guys go on this mission and figure out that they are indeed perished and they are indeed dead, is a way to amend them, a way to make them happier if he supplied these sort of fake clones of their children. Do you think that would be good in terms of appeasing them?
No, I don't think that would. That feels too outside of like normal moral bounds for Huge. He's like, I think I say to him, you know, Dante, to me that's too close to necromancy. And that's a dark art that I've fought many a necromancer. Again, and again, and again, and again. It's kind of what they do.
And then I'm not sure you're short, just sort of shaking your head. Do you have anything to say to this sort of thing, or are you just sort
Yeah, I
of...
go, yeah, that's totally okay.
This fucking guy!
Well, clearly me and my very tall colleague are not quite in agreement on this, but I know you'll do what's right in your heart.
Very fair.
And I'd like to remind you that Hugh Jackman is on the job, and these children are definitely still alive.
Well, of course, you and your... I never got your name, sir.
I'm not sure you're short.
Nice to meet you.
Yes. I call him Tallman.
That's way easier.
I
Tallman.
know. That's why I do it.
Tallman.
Yes, indeed I am.
That's very... Well, I'm glad to have your axe. As he sort of wanders over, you guys take notice to something very particular. He has this sort of purple scarf that has these laces in them that sort of glitter. Can you guys both make me a perception check, please?
I roll a 10.
10.
2.
And a 2. So I'm not sure you're sure. You're still just like caught up in this fucking guy trying to reanimate children. You're like, yeah, you're like,
quick.
Not enough to even notice the scarf at all. Just like too caught up in that. With the 10, 10, right?
Yeah, 10 with the pluses.
With the modifier. So yeah, with a 10, you take notice to the scarf. Nothing sort of extravagant about it. You just take notice to perhaps just an identifier.
Yeah.
Seeing it, that's Dante's scarf.
Slightly jealous because I thought I was the most posh dressed person around, and that scarf's pretty dope. But I'm not going to say anything out loud about that.
All right, so I think we get down to business.
Defeat the hunts.
We haven't named the monster. I suppose you could name the monster Huns if you would like to do so.
I forgot the next line in the song. Otherwise, we might.
Name it. She was like, the last time it happened, we had taken notice to some sort of marks, some sort of way that the beast might have been going. There was no one that actually went towards it or tried to follow it, but we have a sort of rough idea, some way that we can sort of guide you to at least start, but it's, again, been a while. I don't know if the trail's still going to be hot, if it's going to be cold, we're not sure what... You guys hear this shriek coming from outside the hut as everyone's eyes avert towards the door. He's like, what? Immediately he just starts rushing you guys out as you run outside of the hut.